How you doing, folks? Good afternoon. This is Ron Grovis from Ron's Beers. I got a beer to showcase today. As you're looking at it, from Guinness Brewery in Dublin, Ireland. We're all familiar with St. James Gate, where the brewery is. I got some info on this for you, and I want to show this cap before I forget and take it off, because they print it, they've engineered it. We will 1759 is the brewery's date. This is St. James Gate, Dublin, Ireland. This is the 200th anniversary export stout, being 200 years in America, with the red, white, and blue label. I've never seen. I've seen different labels, I must admit. This is great. I appreciate. I'm sending them an email, thanking them for the red, white, and blue. 20 years in America. That's great that they did that. Okay, they're recognizing America's love of beer. All us beer reviewers and makers of beer, brewers, and people that just like beer in general. Appreciate that. All right, with no further ado, let's go on with the Guinness Brewery here. This beer here is their 200th anniversary export stout. Get the mouth working today. It's Sunday here. In Massachusetts. It's a dreary day. It's dark. It's 58 degrees, so the temperature's up. It's nice out. I've been outside. It's 58, so that's nice. We got some good weather. Not hot, but it's good. It's not as cold as the 40s or the high 30s. Well, anyway, with that said, this beer is a 6% ABV. They use Golding hops in this. They don't give the IBUs. The aroma on this should be toffee and caramel with a slight aroma of chocolate. I guess as long as it stays in the aroma, I don't really care for chocolate in the beer or the flavor of chocolate at all. Although I'm getting to eat more lately, because I got a bunch here as I've been working at the desk here, testing batteries and working on some of the electrical stuff. But anyways, back to the beer. I always go on these tangents. The flavor on this should be a complex but smooth, with a sweet chocolate flavor. Oh, it does. There you go. The chocolate flavor is in this beer. All right, I won't be biased. The appearance of this beer is going to be dark ruby red. You know, when you're looking at it straight on, and it looks real dark and almost a dark brown to black. But when you let the light go through it, that's when you see this rubiness and the ruby red in it. It's going to have a frothy head on it, and I believe that. I'm assuming this still has infused with nitrogen. I don't know if it loses it when they bottle it without the widget in it. But let me give you a little history, because I like this brewery. I like Guinness Brewery. I like what they've done and how they operate. I like their beers. The history on Guinness is that it started, as you can see, in 1759. It had a big change, and this is how this beer is involved. I'm going to give you a little, like I say, history stuff on it. In 1817, they had one of the biggest history changes, they feel, by their words. That year, Benjamin Guinness, one of the heirs to the Arthur, or actually Arthur's son, brewed a first beer with a new roasted grain called black patent malt. That was Benjamin Guinness, Arthur's son. Black patent malt. His stout recipe laid the foundation for how we would brew for the next 200 years. Now, that recipe that Benjamin came up with, that recipe went on for 200 years. 1817, again with this bottle, was the first barrels of Guinness, sorry about Guinness, Guinness stout that went to the United States. Again, 1817 was the first barrels of Guinness stout going to the United States. This is being in recognition of that. The first barrels of German to the USA, like I said, was 1817, but they've always were giving or sending beers to other parts of the world. I mean, they have their porter. It's an Indian porter, not a pale ale. It's an Indian porter ale that went to their colonies in India, or their associates in India, associates in India, which would have been the English. This is still brewed in barrels. I mean, they're humble beginnings. Like I say, 1759 was the start of this company. 1927, Rupert Guinness was chairman. He became the chairman, Rupert Guinness. Now, the reason I was kind of stopping on that is Rupert was a beer, a Knickerbocker beer. Rupert Knickerbocker, I think, was the name. But Rupert seems to be associated with a lot of the German beers, Rupert. So I don't know, maybe they named him after. But Guinness, I'm assuming, is an Irish name, being Dublin, Ireland. But Rupert seems to be a German name associated with a lot of the breweries and so forth. But he became the chairman in 1927. So let me give you some little bit of history facts on this. During the Second World War, 1939, the United States hadn't entered yet. This was during the Christmas time of World War II. Guinness Brewery sent to all the British troops, they were expeditionary troops at the time, in France. So it wasn't a big contingent of soldiers, divisions and brigades and so forth. It was expeditionary troops that were there in France. They all received a bottle of Guinness with their Christmas meal that was donated by Guinness Brewery. Now, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Damn good, actually. Also in 1817. Now this is really something. They got the paperwork. They still have their records and so forth. There was the 16th of October. 8 barrels of porter that were brewed in Guinness breweries were shipped to a John Heavy, H-E-A-V-Y. It's like the word heavy. And he lived in South Carolina. So it was shipped to John Heavy in South Carolina. 8 barrels of porter shipped to him. So that was back in 1817, at the time when they were starting to come to America. He had his own order. That's what they have on record. 1803, after the second Guinness takes over because of the death of his dad, original start of the company, Arthur. 1815. Now I'm just throwing these out. They're not probably in order, the dates. I'm just throwing this information out. Like 1850, Sir Benjamin Guinness takes over from his father, Arthur Guinness II. So Benjamin Guinness was head of the company then in 1850. 1877, Guinness commissioned, this is in 1877, Guinness commissioned a new fleet, brand new fleet of barges to ship their beer up the River Liffey, L-I-F-F-E-Y, I hope I'm saying it right, River Liffey, throughout Ireland. I guess to get their beer, that's how you'd be distributing it back then, 1877, and the quickest way for Guinness. So, I don't know, I hope I didn't bore you with all that information, but you should go to their webpage. It's very interesting, the company, and they got a lot more information than that. So with no further ado, let us get a glass. We go in here. Okay. We get it here, a glass. Anheuser-Busch glass. I think my son, number one son. Yeah, number one son got that up when he went and did a tour of Anheuser-Busch up in Merrimack, New Hampshire. And we used to go every summer. Many years ago, me and the wife and the kids were little. And they would get tonic and so forth, soft drinks. And they had a lot of treats there, pretzels, chips, and a number of things for the folks on the tour. And we had, I think it was 3 samples of beer you could have. They gave you their choice, and then you picked the other 2. All right, no further ado. Let's open this up. I got this Veterans Day. It was a gift. 50 caliber bullet that they made into a opener. All right. No further ado. See the water vapors coming out. It's dark. Yeah, more brownish, lighter brown than a dark brown. A frothy head. Here it is. Nice tight bubbles, a few big ones in there from the pour. But other than that, it's a nice frothy head, as they've said. Trying to get it to the light. And it is a good looking beer. I'm dying to try this because I like Guinness Stout. It's high on my list. I don't get it much because there's so many beers out there that are good, and I'm trying to try. So let's see if we get that the aroma on this, that toffee and caramel with slight chocolate. I smell the sweetness, and that's got to be all of them combined. I don't have the best smelling gates, they call it. I know it doesn't work the best, put it that way. But it is, it's like, to me, a malty smell is what I'm getting, but I know someone with a better nose than mine will pick up on these, what they're mentioning, these aromas of toffee and caramel. So let's see on the flavor if you get a smooth and sweet chocolate flavor. Yeah, on the finish, in the back of the tongue as it goes down. As it goes down, you get that kind of sweet and chocolatey sense of going, what it is. Always been a good drinkable beer, always. It's mostly, for me, a winter beer. Unless there's occasions where we have some parties, and occasions where we do get the Guinness Stout. Most of the times, it's a winter beer because of the thickness of it. Most stouts, for me, that's when I drink any stout, not just necessarily the Guinness, but a lot of the stouts. So I celebrate their 1817 beer that they brewed, and this will probably be staying on the shelf. I'll save this bottle. That's collector's, no doubt. But again, their brewery at Open Gate Brewery is a historical gate. It's actually a gate, and it's a fence. And the actual gate, many years ago, I don't remember the years, way back when, on some kind of the pilgrimages, Christians used to go there to collect there, and then they'd be picked up and put on ships and so forth. And said some parts of Spain, I don't know exactly what the pilgrimage was or why they were going to Spain or other parts of the world. It wasn't for fighting. It was for a pilgrimage for something. I really don't know. I didn't really delve too deep into doing any due diligence on what they did when they got there. So, with that said, I hope you enjoy the day. Like I say, it's really dreary here. It's dark. It's warm, though, because 58 degrees. This is the beer. Opportunity to get any Guinness. They got a number of different flavors now. You should get it. So, as we end the video, this review, I want to thank you for watching. If you're going to drink responsible. Today's nice Sunday. Today now, the days that I do a lot of work in the house and so forth. I don't watch football anymore unless it's college. That's Saturdays, and they got some real good games on. So have a good day, folks. Enjoy the day. Do something with your family. They're important. Ciao.